just can't seem to catch a win when it comes to cars lately. So most recently, as you can tell from the title of this video, we're having a pretty major and substantial problem with our 2001 9.3 convertible. But before I tell you guys what's going on with that, I wanted to give you all a big thank you and shout out for helping me with the Turbo X in my past video. If you missed that, go ahead, check it out up here. But basically, I'm kind of having another coolant related issue, and basically there were two resolutions that most people came to, or two conclusions. One, head gasket, which I pray it's not, and two, coolant cap. So, like the normal logical person, I went ahead, put a coolant cap on order, so hopefully by early next week we'll have that in, and we'll be able to hopefully fix this. Should also mention that the arc brakes, the Aero upgraded. I have a couple pieces that Matt from Saab is sending me, and then I also just ordered rear pads and rotors for it, because the rear rotors are, well, let's just say they're equally as bad. Shadow's kind of making it hard to see, but yeah, those are not good. So this car's hopefully next week I'll be done with school, so hopefully then I can get the brakes done on this. But the topic of today's video is this car right here. This is my mom's car. This is our 2001 9.3 convertible, 4-speed automatic. And I mentioned 4-speed automatic because, well, that's exactly the problem with the car. The last couple of months, it's been having a strange issue where it basically will stay in the same gear, or it'll downshift on the freeway randomly. We took it to IMM, which is the Saab shop here. They couldn't get it to replicate what was going on, so of course they couldn't end up really helping us at all. It kind of started a few months ago. It would happen once in a blue moon, and over time it's kind of happened more and more frequently, where basically it'll stay. Most recently, probably about 3 days ago by the time you're seeing this video, basically my dad was driving it home because it's been having this problem more and more frequently, so he wanted to drive it. And basically on the way home, he was on the freeway and it was staying in second gear. It would not shift out of second gear, so he's, you know, can't really drive on the freeway in second gear because, you know, you're going to be doing like 65 miles an hour at like 6,000 RPM. It's just, you know, not really the best thing for the car. He tried using winter mode. This one doesn't have paddle shifters or anything, but he tried using the winter mode, or, you know, anything that he could to, you know, get it into a different gear. And unfortunately, he pulled off the highway, and probably about 5 miles from our house, you know, the car just pretty much completely gave out. It wouldn't move forwards or backwards, so it ended up being stranded on the side of the road for about an hour or two until a tow truck could get there. So a little bit sketchy. Thankfully it was in a pretty good spot. But the car will not move under its own power, so it's been a day or two since then. So, you know, we've let it cool off, we've tried it again, and the car will just, it will not move forwards or backwards. It refuses to move. So unfortunately what that means is, well, this car has a transmission that has completely shit itself, and unfortunately we don't really have the knowledge to replace a transmission. I know that's going to bother some of you guys, but unfortunately it looks like we're going to be selling this car, probably very cheap because it has a bad transmission. I'm not sure 100% what we're going to be doing yet exactly, or what replacement car we're going to be getting. I'll go ahead and talk about that now, I suppose. So we've talked about, you know, getting another Saab. At the same time, my mom probably works about 30 miles from home and has almost an hour commute each way every day in traffic. So having, you know, that could be part of the reason why the transmission started to go bad, all that stop and go traffic every day. We're kind of considering like two options here, I guess you could say, one being Saab and one being non-Saab. At first my dad was pretty much set, we're not going to get another Saab, we're going to get something newer, it's going to be reliable. I'm like, great. He's like, let's get a Volkswagen. I'm like, hell no, we're not going to get a Volkswagen. I guess my mom's a Volkswagen person. But I was thinking, you know, a new Honda Accord would be great if they're willing to spend that money. But you know, outside that, you guys don't care about the non-Saab options, Saab options. So as it stands right now, there are two Saabs that we're kind of interested in. Both are 9.3s. The first one, I believe it's an 05. My buddy Anthony is actually selling it. 05 convertible with like 105K on it, obviously 2.0. And then secondly, there's also a 06 V6 Aero down in Tucson for a decent price. So that's another car that we're possibly considering too. So I guess just stay tuned. Obviously, whenever we figure out what exactly we're going to be doing with this car. I'll keep you guys updated if anyone's interested in it for some reason. I think it has around 160, 170,000. As you can see, I mean, it's really in good shape. It's actually the same color as my Arc, the Midnight Blue. The only thing that's really wrong with it, actually it's on the other side. Paint on the trunk, that's just a common OG problem. Paint on the trunk, then it's had this dent down here ever since we bought it. It's a pretty nice car overall. Interior is really clean, but it's, you know, locked right now. I really like it. Top works, so it's, you know, it's a pretty nice car. It's just the transmission has decided to completely take a dump on us. So of course, when we know what we're gonna do, what car we buy, of course I'll do a video on that. You know, we'll have another Saab on the channel, hopefully, or if not, at least something interesting and not a Volkswagen, because I don't really like Volkswagen. No offense, Volkswagen fans. So with that being said, that's it for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Send a prayer for our Saab fleet right now, because they're all experiencing problems one way or another, except for the 9.5 Aero, I guess. So that being said, I'm done talking. See you guys next time.